Right to a channel of light fluid. Welcome back to the Minotaur Hotel. Yeah, it's been a while. I did intend to get to it much earlier, but things keep happening. People offer me new VNs, so we got a little delayed on this. But we are finally back. And as a quick note, there will be more Far Beyond the World, part 2 of the chapter 14. Hopefully within the week. I did try to get some work done on it this week, but no, wasn't going to be happening. So I'll be getting into that as soon as I can. But in the meantime, we are back here at the hotel. And Asterion actually learned about the transcript which Nikos gave to Leo, and which proved that some of the gods actually voted him not guilty, and he was innocent of the crimes he'd been accused of. So he thought about that. I think we left him reading that. So let's see where we pick things up now. You awaken the next morning to find Asterion already in the office, poring over a stack of documents, with the transcript sitting squarely in the middle of his desk. A brief nod to you passing by is answered with a quiet and distracted grunt. Without ceremony, you sit down to plan out the rest of the day. As soon as you grab the schedule, however, Asterion speaks. I'll require the day off from my usual duties. I have a special assignment prepared for after I give these papers another read. What do you have in mind? We will talk after you prepare today's schedule. I think that looks good enough. We have some R&D, we have some exploration. It might be worth talking to Robert again. You never know, he might join us if we chat to him enough. Okay, let's go with this. Okay, what are you planning for today? Our grand reopening is scheduled for this weekend, correct? That's right. It's almost time. Yes, but still there is work to do. For instance, the hotel's exterior still looks horrible from the years abandoned. Now, renovating the whole facade will be an immense task under most circumstances. Even with the hotel's magic, every little detail has to be planned and thought out. However, over a century ago I prepared a plan to completely overhaul the outside, largely based on architectural techniques used in hot, arid environments. No master ever approved that plan, though. They felt it was not European enough. After we renovated the reception, I went back over it to improve the design a bit. I believe it is ready to be implemented. Excellent initiative. That's the kind of can-do attitude I like coming from my business partner. Thank you. I knew you would appreciate it. I may be old, but I can still learn new tricks. I think I've really outdone myself this time. I'm sure you did. Now, how about we go over your proposal? One might expect a document organised and ready in a file for perusal, but in front of your bovine partner is his mostly cleared desk. Is he going to grab something then? You look back up at him. He grins. About that, my king. I am your business partner, am I not? And it was your wish that I treat myself as such, yes? Yes? And with that understood, you should trust me then as your equal and partner in crime, correct? Where are you going with this? Well, I was just asking myself if you would trust me enough to approve the proposal without checking it. That's not a small thing to ask, you know. I know. So what will it be, Leo, business partner of mine? I think we should trust Asterion on this. I trust you. I'm sure if you designed is great, so consider it approved. Good. It is simpler that way. What do you mean? Well, I have been told that owning a business requires initiative and a can-do attitude. Plus, I've also read it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, so... Asterion, for the love of all that's holy, what did you do? Asterion supports his chin with both hands. Why don't we take a walk outside, my lord? Just you wait, Leo. The hotel will be so much cooler and better ventilated now. You'll see, everyone will love it. And if they do not, I like it, and it makes me happy. And you have said you wish to see me happy, do you not? That's a low blow, mister. Well, perhaps. But what will you do about it, my king? Is there anything I can do? The Minotaur leans in closer, until his giggling breath tickles your ear. Ooh. Now, close your eyes and hold my hand. I want to surprise you. The hybrid strides are wide at first, forcing into a blind jog, for Asterion realizes his strength and slows down with a brief chortle. You can hear the wind and feel the hot air as you make your way outside. There's also the sound of quizzical footsteps as others mill about as well. A few dozen paces from the door, you and Asterion stop. All right, now is good. Open your eyes, please. There's already a crowd, puzzled by the overnight change. The wolf is sniffing at one of the outer walls and... oh, he's peeing on it. Hopefully Asterion won't mind. Kenvish is walking around the new parking lot, searching for his truck. He's panicking a bit, but no doubt it will pass once he realises it's only hidden between four of the cars now. You like it? I don't really think it's cozy, but I think it definitely fits Asterion. I almost expected something more extravagant. This is clearly something from you, inviting and reliable while not being overstated. Thank you. I'm glad to hear you like it. Was it even safe to renovate the exterior with people inside? What if someone's bedroom was squished when you moved the walls around? I assure you, perfectly safe. Changing the hotel's exterior, even adding or removing entire floors, has no effect at all on its interior. You could explode a hole in one of the outer walls and nothing would change inside. It may not seem like it, but the hotel in its current state is not too different from the old floors I showed you earlier this week. I just got better at hiding the transition. That said, adding more windows to the outside did allow me to improve both the airflow and the natural lighting of the bedrooms. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm not yet done with the renovations. The sides still need some adjustments. I have to make sure the breeze in the infinite branching hallways is flowing properly. After that, I'll get back to those transcripts. Without a second thought, Asterion hugs you. Have a good day, Leo. You too, buddy. And with that sweet farewell, the two of you proceed to the day's tasks. This time Robert calls out for you. Leo, hello. I was hoping I'd find you today. I have something you might find interesting. What is it? Oh, just some reading. It's a little book called The Dream Eater's Journal. To the average reader, it's a self-professed piece of self-help / religious fiction, published about a year or two ago by an Argentinian PhD of theology. That is, of course, only meant to make it unassuming. In truth, it's a treatise written by a mythical being who is very knowledgeable about the nature of magic. I've read it half a dozen times already. I've seen all it contains. I'd like you to have it. Well, thank you, Robert. Didn't expect this kind of information to be available in a book. Seldom is it published, yes. But this one man has made it his life's mission to catalogue and reveal as much as possible. Changing the topic, there is another matter I wish to bring up. Do you recall our previous conversation about Mr. Asterion's soul? I think so. You said his soul seemed prematurely aged. Yes, among other things. He has a touch of divinity in him, although withered away, while his humanity remains strong. Recall, too, what I said about my own constitution. My kind, we are not built like most demons. Our souls are made of the same substance as humans, but our shells come from subterranean powers. We call it chaos or chthonic forces. It has many names across different cultures, but I imagine you and your Cretan friend should be familiar with those terms. You should not conflate chaos with evil or disorder, however. It mainly relates to the most primordial forces of nature and to an older generation of gods. There is one detail I omitted about Asterion's soul. I didn't know what to make of it, whether or not it was my place to mention, and I feared you could misinterpret it. There is a third substance to his soul, a chaos most noble and ancient, but withered just as much as his divinity. Once more, I struggle to describe it. It is richer in texture. He was born from a truly primordial chthonic source. I've seldom seen such a pedigree, and never mixed with humanity and divinity alike. In comparison, Mr. Cota possesses a spark of divinity, and Mr. Lucas a smidgen of chaos, but none as great as Mr. Asterion's. If only his soul hadn't been drained of its substance. But that is not all. There is a second layer to his chaos. On top of his ancestry, someone, or something, has branded him with a distinctly chthonic imprint. Is that something I should worry about? No, I don't think so. I must stress again, chaos is not evil or any more dangerous than divinity. Pardon me, it is considered impolite to reveal the substance when there's a soul, as I've done today. But what I saw, 'tis like nothing I've ever seen, and... may I speak frankly? Of course, go ahead. Minotaurs are an exceedingly rare species of mythical. Scholars largely deem them to be a fabrication. And yet here I see one, living and breathing, with an unfathomably old soul, gifted with a divinity and chaos befitting a demigod. Never mind. It's none of my business, and I assume you and Asterion must prefer this matter to be private. Although, if I'm honest, this whole situation's lit a fire in my intellectual curiosity. This hotel you have and its people, it's nothing short of exceptional. Thank you, Robert, both your kindness and discretion. It is an honour to have you here with us as well. Thank you, our fine host. Now, if you would entertain me, I have a little request. I won't bore you with the details of my personal life. What matters is, would you happen to have some room in this fine enterprise for one such as I? You mean a job for you? Yes, this was supposed to be my vacation. I've become quite fascinated with this hotel. I'd like to learn more about it, and I'm willing to make myself useful in exchange. Plus, it would be a welcome change from my usual job. So, what do you say? Oh, absolutely. We have a lot of, shall we say, contract work, and we could use some with legal expertise. Could you please bring this up with Asterion? He'll get you set up for the job and discuss your pay. Marvellous. Thank you, Leo. You won't regret giving me this chance. And with that, Robert trots off to find your business partner. Let's check in on the R&D team. Ooh, we can complete something. I think some software might help. I mean, I've worked in a restaurant. Small place, so basically I was keeping everyone's orders in the order they came in my head whilst preparing everything in the order. Yeah, something like this would be way better. So let's sort that out for the guys. Kota is having a much easier time managing the lounge now the kobolds in Kenbridge are helping him run things. But the small creatures still tend to get orders wrong or find themselves easily distracted, and miscommunication is a frequent issue. They are doing their best, but it's possible they need a helping hand. At the end, the R&D team has made an order for several computers and large touchscreens and purchased a license for restaurant management software. This, they reported, should make keeping track of orders and tables a little easier. The software is flexible enough to make tweaks to and customize the interface. The team spent the day tinkering with it, and at last it is ready for use. You and the team head down to the lounge to install the equipment. The computer is set up on the counter for Kota to use. Then a screen is mounted above the counter to show the guests the status of their orders, and a touchscreen is installed at ground level for use by the kobolds. Once everything is installed and connected, you explain to Kota how the system works. So, if you click here, you'll show all the tables. They'll be grey if they're occupied, green if your comments have made their order, and blue if the order has been served. I see. This one, you said? No, that's for punching the time clock when you start your shift. I'm terribly sorry, Leo. It takes the hotel a moment to translate electronics. I suppose I've gotten used to it translating everything for me, and I have lost the habit of reading English instructions. Oh shit, I forgot about that. Actually, let me see if I can just set the language to Japanese. After giving the dragon a quick rundown, we return to the kobolds. Oh wait, where's Gruggy? Go and show Asterion a treasure. How long will that take? Never mind, let's just get started. You lead them towards the lower touchscreen and duck down to their level. See little buttons down here? Those are the tables. When you take an order from a table, you tap on it. Oh, come on, who wants to try? Nono goes ahead and taps on table 8. See, now you have some more buttons on the top here. Your turn now, Sepito. Tap order. You walk the kobolds through the menus. They take turns clicking the options. After a couple of tries and with patient instruction, it seems like they quickly get the hang of it. You guys ready for a practice run? I'm going to sit at table 9 and pretend to be a customer, and you can come take my order. You walk over to one of the tables. Nono approaches you, gives you a small greeting and hands you the menu. Thank you, Nono. I'll get, I guess just a glass of tap water for now. Hello, Nono. I'll be having a glass of wine, thank you. Oh, did I miss anything? Nono heads off towards the touchscreen. Rocky joins him. The two go back together to get the darker kobold caught up. Let me explain. Ruggy dragged me to the kitchen to show me a present he received. It was a silly thing, but he really liked it. Little origami lizard a guest made for him with those aluminium foil pans when the day Kota served shepherd's pie. I remember. It was delicious. He told me about how proud he was he earned it by giving good service and being nice to the customers. I asked if he and his brothers are happy staying here, and said he needn't work if he does not wish to. But he says he enjoys helping the other guests, and is proud of his work, Leo. Have it here. Don't feel bad about having them working for baubles and a roof over their heads. Now, what's up with the uniform? Well, I'm getting there. Well, he was very excited and kept talking about all sorts of stuff. He mentioned his uniform. Now he's a little ashamed he can't wear long sleeves like his brothers because the spikes on his shoulders tear them up. So I told him that because of my back and neck, there are some clothes I can't wear either. I made a version of their uniform adapted to fit my body. I told him the way he wears his is unique to him, and to not feel shame over it. It seems like those were words he needed to hear. It's really sweet, Asterion. And you look really handsome in those, actually. Thanks. Nono arrives with 2 glasses and a bottle of wine. He uncorks and begins serving the both of you. No, I didn't ask for wine. There's no water on the screen. Noted. Ask Kota to add water to the menu. In the meantime, I'll have the wine then. Thank you, Nono. Something catches your attention. On the screen above the counter, you see that orders are piling up for all the tables. Look back at the 2 kobolds by the touchscreen. Ruggy's tapping away frantically, piling up orders whilst Peter tries to pry him away from the screen. Stop! I want to make them all green! Nono runs off to assist his brother. You take a sip of your wine. Well, you're dressed like them. Want to go set an example? Oh, with pleasure, Master Leo. Shall I get you anything else? Just go, dummy. Asterion giggles and goes over to join the kobolds. You finish your wine and go check on the exploration team. So, let's see. 14 raw materials, twice what we're expecting, nice. Oh, we found something else. I love Wolf's expression there. The exploration team discovered a metal chest while exploring the valley. Great find, guys. Take us upstairs to see what's inside. You carry the chest all the way up the staircase, having to stop and catch your breath on the ground floor. Hey, Leo. A door you swear wasn't there a minute before opens, and out comes Kenvish. Hey, Kenvish. Were you still down in the bedrock? Just tidying up, really. I do my best to make myself useful down there. Well, we found this chest while exploring the valley. It's going to bring it to Asterion so we can check what's inside. Why do you ask? Kenvish examines the chest. Step aside, Leo. There you go. Jeez, remind me not to mess with you. Let's just see what's inside. Holy shit. Inside the chest, perfectly preserved, is an antique carpet. Kenvish rolls it out on the reception floor. See this pattern here? This is definitely Mongolian, Leo. Well now, isn't that a coincidence? What was something like this doing in a chest out in the valley? Hotel has hosted guests from all over the world throughout history. I'm sure there's a story behind this. Perhaps we could ask Asterion if he's seen this carpet before. Although I wouldn't want a horse only belongs to your people. How would you like to keep it? Me? Really? I'd appreciate the gesture, Leo. This looked really nice inside my family's yurt. However, this pattern, it symbolises the eternal happiness of people. I can't think of a better place to put this than the entrance to the hotel. Are you sure? Absolutely. Plus I get a small reminder of my homeland every time I pass by on the way to the kitchen to earn money for my family. I couldn't ask for a better motivator. Invigorated by the discovery, Kenvish's artifacts start one up by one. Yay! After dinner, you wander the hotel's ground floor, both to allow your food time to settle, to make one last check before retiring to bed that everything is as it should be. The lobby is empty, only the drifting sounds from down the hallways filling the air. Some of the guests still linger in the lounge, but many more drift, either alone or in small groups, towards their rooms for a good night's sleep after a hearty meal. You poke your head into the staff break room, find a certain dragon enjoying both a moment of solitude and a glass of wine. Akota, what are you doing here? The dragon's throat rumbles, almost a purr. I felt the urge to have some time alone to reminisce. He raises the green-tinted bottle off the tabletop and waves it at you. Despite the darkness, you notice only a fourth of its contents remain. I much prefer my homeland liquor. Asterion swore this vintage Reggio is exceptional, and let's just say a flood of memories are coming back to me. Good ones, I hope. Only the best. As if I was young again, watching the villages growing around the rivers. People could be remarkably elegant in those days. I keep remembering the couples entwining a finger as they walked downstream, barefoot so as to not make a sound. And then the weddings, the wives hiding the bump in their bellies, families feigning blindness as they drank and danced well into the night. The children, their hands so tiny compared to their parents, as they come and soak their feet in the waters. I used to be a river deity in my glory days, you know. Half a dozen villagers kept shrines to me, and I made sure their rice was unmatched. Their offerings were lovely, but what I remember are most of their faces, their little troubles and their victories too. There is this one tale that's so vivid in my mind. There was once a pair of lovers, a warrior and a brewer of sake. The sake brewer lived by my river, the warrior by another. Every 5th day they'd walk for hours the fountainhead and the 2 streams, where they'd meet and enjoy each other's company. It was said they were made from a single soul, but cleaved so as to inhabit 2 bodies. I'm sure of it myself. The soul will know its other half and will seek it out. Even if a myriad leagues of hill and stream divide them, hearts truly in touch do not find their way to each other long. Say, Leo, do you believe in such a thing as the soul? Well, that's a tough question. When you talk like that and knowing you're a god yourself, it would be so easy to say yes. I've seen so much since I arrived here. I suppose it'd be foolish of me not to be open to the possibility. On the other hand, things seemed a lot less complicated before. It's hard to know what to believe. Yes, you humans are bombarded day and night with doctrines old and new, from east, west, middle, this and that. Not even I, a living and breathing deity, know the full truth. My time here has confirmed the Greek gods are no fiction, but I also know for a fact that my own land's deities are no less real. Well, one more thing I can say for certain. The soul, too, is just as real. Cody takes another sip of his drink. He lets it sit in his mouth for as long as it needs to smoothly go down his throat. He breathes out, shoulders slumped as the warmth overtakes his limbs. So, what do you think of that little tale I shared? Do you believe a soul would recognize its other half? We can go with yes. After everything I've seen here, I wouldn't doubt it. Maybe there is such a thing as soulmates after all. The dragon lifts his glass to you, and then drains it in a single gulp. Aha, that's right, you can bet on it. Either way, the gods did not make life easy, not even for lesser deities such as myself, much less mortals like you. But every now and then they do throw us a bone. As difficult as life may be, joy and love can be found as long as we keep on living. This hotel has given me a great deal of hope. Even for an elder such as myself, I'm sure even my lucky day will come soon enough. Not unlike you, really. Excuse me? I may be the drunkest I've ever been in half a century, but I'm neither blind nor a fool. I don't know what you're talking about. His rumbling becomes a chuckle and a belly-shaking laugh. Now that's a good one. Next you'll say Luke has good table manners. The spasms of his mirth grow more intense, till he's left gasping for breath and wiping a few tears from his eyes. You know, ever since I arrived, I had this feeling. The way you look at him, how you're always by each other's side. If you'll pardon my impropriety, I couldn't help but speculate. Then I learned about Asterion's past. Forgive me, but if only for a moment I doubted you. I even fear that you may be taking advantage. But that night when you took the armband, you put all of my fears to rest. And I knew it. Seeing your integrity brought me peace of mind, but Again he laughs, joy shining like the sun on his smiling face as he looks at you. Then with just a few words he tears away all pretense. You two will make a fine couple. A couple. Heat blooms upon your cheeks at the very idea. But is that what Asterion would want? It's even right for me to be that close to him, seeing how... Kota, I have too much power. I can set safeguards to control myself, and I'm trying to do what's right, but... I guess there's no way around it. if I'm being honest with myself. Is it right for someone in my position to even consider being together with Asterion? Kota casually plops his hand on your shoulder with the full weight of his arm. He looks off into the air with beatific calm, then to you with eyes that reflect the depths of his thoughts. A part of me wants to slap you for this foolishness. That you're even asking the question, in addition to the little stunt you pulled a few weeks back, says everything there is to say on this matter. But still, I'll answer as best I can. Now, is it right for you to be close to him? What I can tell you is you're asking the wrong question entirely. You're thinking too much with your head, not nearly enough with that human soul of yours. How should I put this? Wisdom is like chains and shackles, you see. It binds us, protects us from our foolish wants and desires. A man should be used to binding himself. We have, after all, too many unsightly and ruinous wants. All of us do. It is respectful for a man to limit himself, especially when he takes on the mantle of a leader. But there is such a thing as too many shackles, Leo. Your arm, for instance. Aren't you sharing his burden now, shackled as you have become? Aren't you now like a prisoner yourself? You locked off some of your power. So tell me, what shall grow in the vacuum left by it? But all of this is just rambling, because there is only one question that truly matters. Is this what Asterion wants? So, Leo, is this what he wants? He's been moved to invention, to poetry. He's no teenager writing couplets. He knows the depths in which the muses spring. How you are as foolish as Kota said, you only truly notice now. I trust your judgment implicitly. So what do you think as an outside observer to all this? I think he holds an immense affection towards you, one that goes well beyond friendship. But I don't think he's connected the dots just yet. He allows that to hang in the air as the clock on the wall ticks away. Finally, the both of you sigh, Kota with warm contentment and you with bashful apprehension. I'm surprised you even brought this up. I wasn't sure you're accepting of gay people. Why, because I'm so uptight? He smirks at having seemingly caught you off guard. Well, considering the issue you have with how open Luke is. Oh, Leo, I'm drunker than a monkey. I don't have it in me to pretend I'm all prim and proper. Firstly, I'll have my fun however I damn well please. Wait, you mean... And for your information, what I find distasteful about Luke is his lack of class. Were he more discreet about his tastes, I'd have no issue with him whatsoever. Although I cannot deny that I've grown fond of him. We still bicker every other day, but I do appreciate his hard work. He isn't an unreliable man. So you don't mind people who aren't straight? I'm old, Leo. I've seen people lose their chance at happiness in so many ways, for reasons which sound so petty in hindsight. I trust your judgment implicitly. You'll figure out what's the right and wrong way to go about this, I'm sure. So my advice is, neither you nor Asterion should waste your chance at happiness. At last the dragon hefts himself to his feet. On unsteady legs he teeters the sink, rinses out his glass and setting the wine bottle back in its proper place. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've had a little too much to drink. It's high time I retire to my quarters. And Leo... His hand claps your shoulder and you feel the warmth and steady strength of his presence. Take your time. Enjoy these moments. Life only lasts a short while, so don't fill your heart with fear and sadness. Good night. And with that, the dragon leaves you alone with your thoughts. Later that night, when sleep ruled the hotel and its inhabitants, the Minotaur rebelled. Cold sweat and troublesome thoughts, running like calves in the field, kept him restless. He did as his mother once told him. Think of gentle rain droning outside, caressing the rocky ground so it may return to the sky in the morning carrying the scent of petrichor. When that failed, he thought back to the sounds of Hades. droplets of water falling from the stalactites far above, and the rush of underground streams deeper below. Nothing worked. His mind turned again and again to Argos' letter. And so, like thousands of times before, Asterion's disquiet forced him out of bed. Yeah, you had your chance to see him in his speedo for a while. So let's return him back to something more suitable for being out at night. He took his lyre with him, and down he went, past the ground floor, the storage, the entrance to the old hotel, past centuries of history and memories. He made no attempt to muffin the sound of his hooves as he marched. When he reached the lowest exit of the hotel, the Minotaur sang his song and commanded a wooden whistle into existence. An inch away from the threshold, the Minotaur drew a breath. Then he stomped forward to unleash his call. Reflecting in his eyes, the stars shone twice as bright. "Make haste, Snake." 100 heartbeats later, he whistled again. Harsher, louder, while cracking the stone beneath his hoof with another stomp. And again, and now at last the bushes up ahead rustle. "Halil?" Asterion swallows the lump in his throat. "No, only me. I want to talk with you." Argos stopped dead in his tracks. His tongue flicked out as he emerged from the brush, but even that has grown still as death. Hummingbirds peck at the back of Asterion's skull, while the snake's lungs grow stiff. Both struggle to breathe, and both don't dare to let out so much as a wheeze. Drops of dew forms on their noses. The knife-sharp air, chilly and damp, spreads a shudder over this strange pair. At last Argos opens his mouth to speak, but no words come out. At last Asterion takes the letter out from his pocket, and his voice is a hoarse and shaken whisper. "Why are you doing this? What do you want?" "Nothing. There's nothing I want." "What is your plan?" "I have none." "No, I cannot trust your kind. The trap is always laid to twist to catch. For 2,000 years that is what you have done to me time and time again. Why should this time be different? Why should I believe this letter of yours, or those so-called transcripts? So, answer me!" "It wasn't me. All the things the Argyle have done to you, those were my forebears. We are not the same person." "So what makes you different from all the others? And by the 12th, you're so apologetic, then what else gives you the impression you ever welcome show your face here?" Asterion's eyes crawl over the foreman's exposed scales. How odd it is seeing the snake without the horns and pelt. "At least you have the shame to come naked. So what's your plan?" The snake looks around, rubbing his hands together. His eyes are soft like cotton. All the blood-stained iron has been stripped from them. For a moment, Asterion almost forgets that this snake is his tormentor. But then, in a flash, the foreman dons his role once more. What plan can I have when my time is over? What can I even do with Leo wearing that armband? What is there for me to do? You know what my original purpose in all this is, and can no longer be done. Now all I can do is delude myself by saying I can serve Master Leo's will. But that is not in the mission of the Argoi in the first place. The snake looks up to the Minotaur, perhaps awaiting a word of mercy. But what he sees in the Minotaur's gaze, that icy anger, reminds him that even a fallen prince carries a royal dignity. Argos draws a breath and holds it in his chest, buying him time to bring his thoughts back together. This is it for me. I failed the old mission set by Olympus and allowed the Master to be irreversibly compromised. And that may well be it. The ruthless chain of old masters and their traditions is broken. Now this man walks all over the ancient customs, doing as he pleases without a care. I can already see it. One day he'll pick a successor much like himself. It wouldn't surprise me if you could contrive a way to make all future masters bear that cursed armband. And when that happens, the Argoi will be forever rendered purposeless.
And why are you doing this? Why show me those transcripts, or send me a letter saying you are sorry? You are telling me that because you can't abuse me anymore. You might as well help me. Damn it, what do you even want?
I wanted a noble mission. A tradition upheld, a duty fulfilled. Something to make my forebears proud of me. I knew my time in this realm would be short, but not this brief. I wanted to spend more time with you and Master Leo.
More time torturing me?
No, just listen to me, you... There's much about the Argoi you don't know. I'm telling you, I have no ulterior motives. My original purpose is gone, you hear? So I might as well do what I can with what little time I have left. I may be a servant of the gods, but even I have some autonomy, and I have made my choice. If I cannot serve the gods' will, then I will serve his, no matter where it may lead us. And what he wants is very clear, Asterion. He brings himself down to raise you up, so I'll follow his lead, which is why I brought you the transcripts. I will serve his heart and do all that I can to bring about his will.
But why? At 12, I don't understand why.
You bull-headed fool. He loves you. Isn't that obvious? Love, real love, not as the Romans know it, all broken down to bits and desecrated. He loves you so much that you absolute idiot, what do you even know about yourself? I know all about you, everything there is to know, while he lavishes you with treasures so great they'd put the gods to shame. You are blind. While all this happens, you bow down and cry because you think you are dirt and ash. But by the Master, by his goddamn will, you think you are dirt, don't you? So read the transcripts, find them all and see the truth for yourself. The gods didn't abandon you, they just failed. Your precious king of the underworld defended you with every argument he could, and even when he failed, he still tried to keep you from being kidnapped. Your lovely Hestia, your quick-footed Hermes, what maneuvers they made to save your precious soul. And when it all failed, they perverted this realm in your favour. Hades' statue wards off monsters. Hestia's mirror gave you a home. Hermes' shrine brought you friends, family, love. And what do? Cower begs the lie. This grand falsehood that you did something wrong has wormed its way into you. The trial was rigged. You are a prince, a demigod descended from sky, sun and sea. Blessed by the gods. You are a king. You took this realm made to bring pain and you turned it into a home. Not the masters. You did this. And now you Now you get the chance to end this farce once and for all. So do it, damn you! Take your chance at happiness, twist every law of this rotten land back to righteousness, and become the king you are meant to be. The foreman recoils from himself. There are two minds in his wandering gaze. Regret and searching and sorrow. Finally, resignation, a kind of humiliation. He turns away. Asterion can only stare in blank bewilderment. End this travesty once and for all.
What are you?
Argos' facade cracks and the voice flows from his mouth. Only the most loyal follower of Leo's will.
And yet unlike any other Argos I've ever seen. Did I not know better, I would guess the same change which happened to humanity occurred in you as well.
What a fine Argos I turned out to be. Argos shuts his eyes in thought and lets out a huff. Asterion follows the snake's cue, tensing his fingers on his lyre.
I do not know if I trust you. I do not know what to think or feel about all this. I know, however, that I have never seen an Argos weep. And for many years now I believe that no one deserves misery. As much as your kind has brought me grief. If you are to go die or be undone into the sands, whatever is the realm does when it is finished with the Argoi, I will mourn you.
The snake remains half turned away as he lifts his gaze. He takes another gentle, pensive breath. You will mourn me? And at 12, what regret you stir in me.
What, now you are too tall to take my kindness?
No, it's not that at all. I just wish we had met under different circumstances. Were I not the Argos, had I never taken up your skin as my mantle, had I never wandered in this rotten valley. The snake turns his head and his watery eyes meet the bull's. Do you think we could have been friends?
We would, yes. You and I could have gotten along, I think. Your scales remind me of the snakes from Crete. You have the same pattern. And perhaps we could have played together.
Oh, so you finally realized.
Excuse me?
Our scales. How many centuries the Argoi wondered how long it would take you to notice. What a privilege it is to be the one to refresh your memory.
Surely you understand. I don't make a habit out of being close to your kind.
I do. And while you should not for your own safety.
What a unique Argos you are.
Shall I take that as a compliment?
Perhaps.
What a glorious night. The old Prince of Crete, son of earth-shattering Poseidon himself, blessing this Mediterranean heart.
Don't let it go to your head. I have plenty of criticism to throw at you as well. For instance, I told you a thing or two about that flute. I sometimes wonder if there's ever a note not sour within it.
Well, it's probably because I don't really play the flute.
Pardon?
I only played it to announce my presence. Well, sometimes it is fun to make a nuisance of myself.
Don't make me regret showing you kindness.
Hey, even Lord Hermes, that old rustle of cattle, could be a nuisance. Perhaps you should try it sometime.
Perhaps I shall. But first I have one more question to ask you.
Argos bows, low and sweeping. His cheeks are still wet, but his face is far more at ease. At your service, your majesty.
Why are you doing all of this? Is it really because you can't fulfill your original purpose?
It is, yes. It's not my only reason. It's because being the Argos was my life's mission, to do justice, to fulfill the will of Olympus. But your trial was rigged, and I didn't know. I was aware of the transcript's existence, but I never imagined. What justice was there in my actions and the role of the Argoi? Were we ever fulfilling the will of the gods? Argos looks towards the horizon. He closes his eyes with hands folded over his heart. The beast of the wasteland prays. My lord, my master, is that what you wanted? Was this truly your will all along?
No, and Leo, perhaps it was. Assuming you're not preparing some trick, you can rest assured he would approve of your conduct.
I did it. My time was short. Perhaps it was enough to do the right thing, to fulfill my master's will.
Yes, I'm sure he'll be proud of you.
I should go now. I would like it if those are the final words I carry to my resting place.
Wait. Will we ever see you again?
I don't think so.
Then pardon if it's overstepping my bounds, but would you like to play a song with me? Your flute and my lyre as a farewell to each other.
I'm afraid I'm far too unfit as a flute player, Your Majesty. Besides, this old thing is foul and stained. It could create no sweet melody, even if I could.
I'm sure it will, if we try.
Asterion had been stilled by both confusion and compassion seeing Argos weep. Now his brows purse in concern when he sees the snake become bashful. Say, could you make me a brass instrument?
Brass?
Yes, a trumpet if possible. I have read about its sound. I know the Argoi of old despised that thrum of brass, so I was always curious to hear it for myself.
As a matter of fact, just a few days ago a guest showed me one. If it's still here, then I can... would you like it with a mute? He showed me that attachment as well. That way we won't wake up any of the guests.
Yes, Your Majesty, however you see fit. Asterion nods and then closes his eyes. He concentrates and holds his hands out. They trace the shape in the air as he remembers how gently he held it, and the guest's assurance that he need not be so careful. But most of all, he thinks how precious and exact the shining length of pipe seemed to be. In a span of one blink to another, Argos seizes appear in Asterion's grasp. The Minotaur offers it to the snake, extending his hands out over the hotel's threshold. Argos slithers closer, and reaches out. Fur grazes with scales, their eyes locked together. The snake feels the bull's breathing. The two can't help but think they're close enough to hurt. But no betrayal comes. Argos takes the proffered instrument and runs his hands along the bell. His fingers click the valves. He puts the mute in, brings the mouthpiece to his lips, and plays a few crisp, clear notes. What a fine piece of work!
Where did you learn?
A beast I may be. I'm not devoid of exceptional talent. I can do much when my instrument is pure. How does that one song go? I heard you play it when you sit outside with your lyre. Again, the snake puts a trumpet to his lips and blows. A handful of notes in, Asterion's ears flick in recognition.
Oh, it actually goes like... Here, let me make sure my lyre is tuned for it right now, and...
Asterion plugs out the same handful of notes and then continues the phrase. Argos picks up the song's trajectory, playing along by ear and memory, while watching Asterion for cues. They pause on the last note as the snake's breath falters and the string's vibrations fade. Argos grins. Now play it again. We can trade solos together.
Pardon?
Play it again, my prince, and follow my lead. They start over together, matching note for note to the first phrase. Then Argos flies in a flurry up a scale and down, harmonising with and providing counterpoint to that melody Asterion first learned in the underworld. The snake plays with little frisky hiccups and hops, until the last note rings out. Now you! Argos blows the first three notes, holding until Asterion catches on. He maintains eye contact with the Minotaur, nearly around her breath before Asterion joins in, and he slows the pace to accompany his music partner's attempt. Asterion's plucking is slower in coming, more thoughtful and questioning in placement than Argos' playing. The Minotaur finds some harmonies that ring true for him as the snake holds it together. When it is finished, they sit there in silence for a moment. Asterion looks up.
Would you like to do that again?
Asterion's fur stands on end at your approach. Something the matter?
Yes, sir. I mean, no. No issue, none at all. There's a little something that is gnawing away at me regarding these transcripts.
What is it?
They are authentic. The seal on them is unfalsifiable. Doesn't mean they are what Argos says they are. Anyone could have written them. Nothing stops their contents from being fiction. Except... Lord Hades' transcript is no transcript at all. It took me a while to recall, but this is his handwriting. I say that with full certainty too. During my time in his guard I was taught to recognize it, and there's no mistaking it. These documents, or at least Lord Hades, may be real.
And how do you feel about all this?
I don't know. At least not yet. I still need some more time to think it over.
It's alright, buddy. You can take all the time you need.
Thank you.
You leave Asterion to his thoughts and head to your office. Someone's at the door. Oh, good morning, Leo. Asterion let me in. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. Not at all. Please take a seat, Kempish. How are you doing? I'm doing great. I guess I wanted to come by and once again thank you both for this opportunity. It's a dream come true to be able to both support my family and grow as a professional. You don't need to thank us. We needed someone in the position anyway, and you more than fit the bill. We're happy to have you on board. I'm glad to hear. Still, I've been thinking of a way to show my appreciation. Hope you don't find it intrusive, but I've been talking with Asterion after hours, and I asked him a little bit about you. That got me thinking. There's people here, you included, who've been in this hotel for quite a while now. Do you ever feel homesick, Leo? Let's say yes. On occasion, yes. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to be master of the hotel. I know it allows me to have a positive impact on a lot of people's lives. But, yes, I do get all homesick sometimes. I figured. You know, I move around a lot, so I'm used to it. But never quite like this, and so far away from my family and homeland. Anyway, it's a small thing, but I find that sometimes food can help ease homesickness. I wondered if perhaps I could cook a dish that's nostalgic for you today. That'd be a really nice gesture, Kenbridge, thank you. My pleasure, Leo. But I confess, it's also a good opportunity for me to learn some new recipes. Hey, variety's the spice of life and all that. Though, now that I think about it, you said it yourself, I'm not the only one here who's been away from home for a while. Maybe we can give one of the other staff members a surprise? Yeah, let's cook for someone. I could do with some cooking. Great! Who should I cook for then? Oh, we know Kotra's in Japanese cooking. I think Luke has his hamburgers. So, should we do some Cretan cooking? Or maybe cook something for Robert, but he hasn't been here as long. Let's cook something for Asterion. More than happy to. Now, what food is Asterion like? For starters, don't cook anything with beef, obviously, and you recall asking Asterion about his favourite food back during your first week in the hotel. If I remember correctly, Asterion used to hunt goats with his brothers. He also has a sweet tooth. Alright, and he's from Crete, correct? I can work with this. Thank you, Leo. Kenrich leaves your office and gets to work, leaving you to manage the rest of your staff. Let's see. Let's Robert on some R&D. Actually, maybe we get Asterion to help him out as well. And we'll let these two go out and do exploration. Okay, I think we're good. We're done planning. Around noon, you invite Asterion to join you for lunch. Asterion takes a seat.
Thank you for the invitation, Leo. What will you be having?
Oh, you'll see. We have a surprise for you. Kenrich arrives, escorted by Zapito. He serves the dish with honey-glazed goat meat and a side of boiled vegetables. Along with Stamangathi. I hope you enjoyed it, Asterion.
For me?
Go ahead, dig in. Asterion fiddles with his fork, trying to pinch both the meat and the vegetables at once. After a couple of failed attempts, you grab a piece of bread and serve the meal as a sandwich for him instead.
This is delicious, Kenrich. I can't remember the last time I ate goat meat prepared this well.
Well, we're no strangers to goat in Mongolia.
Stamnagathi was always a little too bitter for my taste, to be honest. But it goes very well with the sweetened meat. The flavour does bring back pleasant memories. You never cease to surprise me, Leo. I can't believe you go this far just to please me. Thank you both.
See how R&D did while we were cooking. Okay, progress, it's always good. I expect everything every day. Let's see what Luke and Wolf got up to. Again, 14, nice. Sorry, it's just Wolf's expression. Ooh. Ares vote on the trial of the Olympians. Another week gone by, good lord, and your wise and kind-hearted leadership. The Minotaur Hotel has provided shelter to another wave of wanderers. Some still lick their wounds, many have already departed, and a few choose to stay behind and join your ranks. Like any ship's crew, one should expect them to partake in city rowdiness every now and then, regardless of your commands. Tonight, even after all the guests have returned to their rooms and the lounge's doors have been closed, a crowd still lingers there. Drinking and chatting, making a ruckus, talking a notch too loud and saying a tad too much. You had taken a minute to sit by the sidelines and watched the merriment when a certain dragon approached. He offers you a can of beer. Thank you, but I don't want to drink quite yet. Oh no, this isn't for you. I just wanted you to see it. What do you think? It'll be a gift to our feathered friend. It's his favourite kind of beer. I'm sure he'll love it. But how'd you get it? The dragon takes a good look at the can's label and traces a claw over it. Well, as it turns out, the hotel is exceptionally well equipped to create liquor. It's quite curious, really. We still have to cook our meals and bake our bread. But when it comes to alcoholic drinks, the hotel can manifest from the blink of an eye, down to the most minute of details. I did a few experiments, managed to make 12 bottles of sake, which were almost identical, except for each one being made from rice grown at different altitudes. It can replicate flavour, alcohol concentration, even the exact packaging you want. I hope you don't mind, but I've been playing around in my free time with these discoveries. It took me a while, but I created this beer which I believe will be precisely to Luke's preferences. Interesting. You think Asterion drafted up some kind of contract to make all that possible? Oh, if he did, I couldn't find it in the bedrock. What I did find was a brewmaster's manual, more like a brochure really, explaining how to do it. I actually discussed the matter with Asterion during lunch once, and he told me it's just how the labyrinth has always been. But enough about technicalities. What do you say we reveal it to the bird brain? You turn to find Luke being egged on by the other employees or trying to climb a pile of stacked chairs to win a bet. He doesn't hear when you call his name. You resort to clicking your tongue, snapping your fingers and clapping your hands. Here, kitty kitty. Success. Luke scampers over to you. What's up, boss man, master, sir? You can just call me Leo, you know. Well do, King Lord Daddy. This is what happens when a lord is too soft-handed. His subjects take kindness as permission to disobey and rebel. The griffin picks up on your hesitation. Oh, ain't Daddy going to punish me for misbehaving? My Lord King of Kings, I've been so naughty. If you spanked me a few times and the man had me hard enough, I suppose I could call you by your name and all that. Do I even want to know what's gotten into you? Not like that. Well, old Birdie's been telling me you don't like being called Kingly Lord and all that jazz. I ain't homie, couldn't let the opportunity pass me by. Anyways, let's cut to the chase. Why'd you call me over, Daddy? Kota looks at you, the corner of his mouth barely containing a giggle. Something must be done. You must assert your authority lest mutiny spread through the ranks further. You straighten up and clear your throat. Bend the knee, peasant. Kneel in front of your monarch. Kinky, I like it. You look to Kota, your priest and bishop, and extend your gauntlet to receive his sacramental elixir. Listen well, Lucas Walker. Our dear compeer Sir Kota has gone through a great deal of trouble to bestow a great gift upon thee. You will accept it. The dragon hands you the beer can. Luke bends over as to kiss your shoes. Oh, Daddy. Lift your gaze now and witness the boon I grant. Your subject looks up. To your crotch, of course, but forethought compelled you to block his view of it with a beer can. His eyes take a second to focus on your hand. Beer? Beer, you insolent dog, brewed by a highest bishop. For you. You hurt my feelings, Luke. I spent a whole week trying to get it just the way you like it. You'll make him cry. You'll make me cry. Oh, wait, beer? For me? He's sobbing. Inconsolable. You ingrate, I'll lock you in the dungeons for 50 years. Wait, Kota, you mean? He even made a whole new beer label for you. It's in the name on the can, written in the stars. Carved with my own tear-stained claws. Kota, Blue, is this for real? And still you doubt me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to... Jesus, I can't believe you... Be grateful, you insolent cur. Thank you, Bluey. I was trying to beat on a can of beer. The Griffin holds the can with both hands, polishing the label with his thumbs. Damn, it's even my favourite type of beer. Butter my butt and call me a biscuit. It's one of the best things anyone's ever done for little me. Come here, you. Luke hugs and lifts a sizable, squirming dragon, always losing his balance and sending the both of them tumbling down. You're welcome, you're welcome. Now put me down. No, I ain't no insolent dog. I ain't show Daddy I'm a good boy. Luke, stop that or so help me God I'll punch you in all the ways not even you can make sexual. Here, drink your beer and behave now. Ah, drink, partner. Behaving's never been an option for me. Cheers. Luke digs his claws into the top of the can and rips it off like an eagle decapitating a rabbit. Then he chugs it down, showing everyone how little of a gag reflex he has. Crota and you exchange a look, raising cans of your own. Cheers. You drink a good mouthful, while the dragon only takes a shy sip. It tastes like piss. You freeze, save for a shudder running down your spine, as you reflect on whether or not you should spit it back into the can. Oh, I can't believe you did this for me. It's delicious. Better than light even. I never had a better drink in my whole life. That's my face on it too. I gotta show Ma. Luke pulls out his beat-up phone to snap a picture of the label. He's not seen why his brutal method opening the can has decapitated the likeness of him on the label. It was my pleasure, Luke. I'm glad you enjoy it so much. I'll have to pay you back, Fluid. Got the cans this going awarded, you know. I'll do something real good for you. Gonna love it, I can see it already. No, that won't be necessary, really. I insist, Daddy. Excuse me, I gotta show this little baby off, make it everyone's problem. You look down your can of piss beer to gather your words and at Dakota. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're asking yourself if I'd have the gall to bottle urine and pass it off as beer. If you must know, I'm a brave man. I will not shy away from doing it to Luke, but it was not necessary. This really is how he prefers his beer. Good, that's reassuring. Yes, but hypothetically, if I'd spiked that can alone with urine, would it ever be possible for you to know for sure? I don't think where this is going. You wouldn't. No one would. And now you must live with this doubt, Daddy. I hate this, all of it. But you're not given time to reflect upon the horror of your crew's mutiny. Just as promised, Luke has made his beer everyone's problem. That's enough all you. Blue, they made a label of beer for me, with me on it. There's only one right and proper way to celebrate this auspicious occasion. Everyone gather round, we're doing a drinking game. And before we get into the drinking game, I'm just reminded of that old joke. Why is American beer like making love in a canoe? And if you know the joke, you can finish it yourself. And if you're American, I know there are some good beers in your country. Just they don't seem to sell very many and they're not well known. Anyway, that was Minotaur Hotel. We'll continue with the drinking game in the next episode. As you can see in the top, we have chapter 19, we're on 17. There's quite a long way to go yet with this, but we will be carrying on with it a little more often in the past year or so. Tend to take a short break and tend to be a longer break than I planned, like 10 years. It happens sometimes. We will be getting back to Minotaur Hotel, though. Trust me on this one. Great fun to read. So the next one up on the channel should be part 2 of chapter 14 of Far Beyond the World. And I think next weekend is Bjorn's updating Dawn Chorus. And then hopefully after that in the midweek, I'm going to try and fit in some more after years. It's been a while since we've done that. Yeah, that's all I can remember of the schedule. But it is actually on my Patreon page. You can check it up there. And speaking of my Patreon page, I need to, maybe if you're a patron, maybe what you can do is just some better segues for these bits so I can get into mention your names better. Feel free to leave something in the comments on the post for this video or even below this video. My top patrons are Andy Peng, Aaron Fox, Bastian, Bieka, Brian Hall, Cobus Visser, Dissonance, Exact, Grizz, Harvest Mouse Productions, Ida Koval, Evan King, Kartek, Matt Kenya, Mario Cervantes, Mohammed Al Zamil, Adi Bear, Vulpes Need Coffee, Amat Rasu, Tiger Cub, Sumuto, Spiderling, Rafu, and Omar. So special thanks to them, and thanks to everyone who supports the channel. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to have something new to show you soon. It's been worked on right now, and I can tell you it's looking good. But I'll pop that up for the patrons when I have a completed version, and then the rest of you'll see it when I do the right sort of video for it. But thanks for watching. This has been Minotaur Hotel. It's good to get back to it. Until next time, bye for now.